and I presume I'm a bit of a disappointment because Navid Kamani couldn't come. So, because he has a family member who is ill and he has to take care. But then I said, maybe you have some questions towards Deutsche Welle and some critics or some good points what we did here at Global Media Forum. And so I thought it might be interesting to discuss a bit about what we're doing here. And so I'm just happy to take your questions. I'm not going to give a long speech or to juggle or whatever, perform. There's also no stand-up comedy here. So we'll sit here now and hope that you have enough questions. If there aren't enough questions, we go out to have a coffee. But I hope that, and I'm happy that there are more guests of the Global Media Forum here than members of my team. This is something already encouraging. So, no, I'm not scared of them. No, but they could have asked all the questions you probably will ask. They could have do this also another time. So, there's still more people to come. Great, come on in. Have a seat, they're enough. And the good thing about this panel is it depends. If it's boring, it's not only my fault, then it's the fault of your questions. So please, come on, wake up. And I'm happy to take the first question. Whoever wants it. It's an easy one. Yeah, thank you. I sit down if you permit.
Good afternoon. I'm Mohammad Hashemi from Iranian TV, State TV, television. I'm well aware of the history between Deutsche Welle and especially with the case of Deutsche Welle Persian that is blocked in Iran. And I saw yesterday that it was all discussion of media literacy and how we can, Germany as a resourceful country can contribute in terms of media literacy around the world. In the case of Iran, with this kind of limitations that we might have, is there any chance that Deutsche Welle or Iranian media or IRIB or any sort of, they could establish any sort of cooperation or collaboration or not? Because yesterday I talked to a few gentlemen from Deutsche Welle. They totally dismissed the possibility and prospect of such cooperation. I just wanted to hear your opinion. And
that's fair that you said this. No, but well, it's a difficult situation between Iran and Deutsche Welle. I mean, it's the Iranian government is blocking Deutsche Welle online totally. So we are only reachable in Iran via software, which is especially created to get around the blockade. And we have significant users in Iran, so we are there available, but very difficult. And we'd like to do a cooperation, but only when this blockade ends, because I think it's an unfriendly act. It's also an act of being anxious of other opinions, other voices. So I think as soon as there is no more blockade, I'm happily willing to talk to any Iranian media outlet and see what we can do. Because I think especially important in this polarized world and in the situation also Iran is in. I mean, if I would be Iranian president, I would say, come on, let's maybe communicate a bit better with the West and not block it. So, but I'm luckily not the Iranian president, and so basically we would be open for any collaboration, but only if this blockade ends totally.
For the case of Deutsche Welle Persian, we know that the Iranian government and the system has a little bit of issues with their coverage, and I'm aware that there have already been discussions between various officials and I think the Iranian government is also not willing to take the case of, as long as the coverage of Deutsche Welle Persian is the way it is. It means that there is, you somehow mixed it. You postpone any kind of cooperation until this blockade is removed, obviously, huh?
Yes, that's how it goes. That is what freedom of speech is about, that you tolerate other opinions. And our Persian service is doing journalism, and journalism includes criticism also. Criticism, by the way, towards our own government too, but also to other governments which are probably in this region are absolutely, where it's justified that they should be criticized. And we are not to consider or anything what other governments think about our outlet and our media offer. We are transporting also the opinion of the governments, but we are also transporting the opinion of the opposition. And as long as the Iranian government has a problem with it, well, it's basically then a problem also for the Iranian government, and but we will continue our path. But again, we would be really willing to do more and be more active in Iran, but this blockade is unacceptable. I mean, you can be here and ask questions, it's no problem. You can even broadcast when the Iranian press TV or your outlet or whatever wants to broadcast here via internet. Go ahead, do it. I mean, nobody will hinder you. So I think, as the German Chancellor said, also in international media there should be reciprocity. So, I mean, it's a bit strange that one government blocks the offer of the others and we then accept the free information. Okay, so maybe we can discuss it later, but there are also other questions. I don't want to block it, but I think we can discuss also later, but maybe let's first of all have other people talking. When there's time enough, we can come back to you. It's fair? Okay, thank you. So the lady over there, please.
Thank you. My name is Claire. I'm from Nigeria. And this is my first time. And I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'm glad I took the opportunity because I've met a lot of people. And I have some takeaways. I think I started hearing about Deutsche Welle even before I thought of becoming a journalist. And I've only been about over 20 years practicing journalism in Nigeria. So Deutsche Welle, it's a household name for us in Nigeria. A lot of people listen to Deutsche Welle radio and all that. How do you maintain a balance between state interest and being a professional journalist in terms of satisfying what the public want? That's one. And secondly, are you into any form of cooperation in terms of content development and capacity building, skills and capacity building?
Well, the first question, I understand how we keep the balance, or I personally keep the balance, being a state-funded organization and to deliver honest journalism. First of all, in Germany, we have the system of public media. That means it's not state media that the state controls the content. The state provides the finance, and the state looks whether we in our organization are working according to laws, for instance, so that there is a juridical control whether we fulfill our duties as employer or something. So that we keep German law. So this is basically everything what the state is controlling. We have independent boards. So they're coming, people coming also out of politics, but mostly out of civil society. So they're people from religious groups, from sports, from the unions or the economic society. So basically there are a lot of people who are controlling, but they are, for instance, they're not giving directives what we should broadcast, but they see what we broadcast and then they give their opinion on it. So basically we don't have a system where the board says you have to broadcast this and this and this. So And economically, I have a board also which controls my financial behavior and of this entity here, the Deutsche Welle. So there is independent control, and this is we just had 65th anniversary of Deutsche Welle, and we had the German Chancellor speaking, and it was also for her really important that we are independent. We can do journalism as we want to. Basically, when we do errors, we have to stand up and say, yes, we did something wrong. We have to do a correction, whatever. But basically, what we do is our business. Concerning cooperation, yes, we have already a partner in Nigeria, but this means not that we couldn't have more. We produce together with Channels TV. And an outlet in Kenya, KTV, we produce Equate Africa, which is a real co-production, and we're very happy that we can do this because it's a co-production from 2 African media outlets and Deutsche Welle, and we all together broadcast this television magazine, Equate Africa, we on our English channel, and they in their channels on prime time. So I think this is also something where international broadcasting should go to, more co-production within partners in the country, in the regions where we broadcast. And the good thing is that we get their knowledge about the interests of the users and listeners and viewers, and so we can better produce journalistic content what the people really like to see. And environment is a great topic. It really works. Okay, there are more questions. Great. We start with you and then we come to you.
Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, my name is Turbat Baurova, and I am from Caspian Broadcasting Company TV channel of Azerbaijan, which televises news in 4 different languages. And at the same time, it's the first international TV channel of Azerbaijan. I will have 2 questions addressed to you. Maybe it's not included into your competences, but first one it will be a little bit general, and the second one will be of specific nature. My first question is, what place does the South Caucasus region take in the Europeans' news policy? I mean, how interesting or important is this region for the European media outlets, news agencies? And my second question is a little bit specific nature. As you know, due to the large-scale projects implemented recently by Azerbaijan, such as Southern Gas Corridor and the TANAP project, the importance of Azerbaijan is growing in the European energy security, as well as informing and reshaping the energy map of Europe. So I would like to get your personal point of view in this regard, because you have a great experience as a journalist, as a media leader. So I would like to get your personal point of view, perspectives in this regard. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your question. I have to disappoint you on the second question. I'm not an energy expert. And I think giving you a personal opinion on something I really don't, probably I'm not an expert in, or I did research on or whatever, or at least read an article about, which always helps, but I can't do it. To your first question, I think there isn't enough interest in this region, and because it's and probably also in the past, the European politics have not really taken this region serious enough. I mean, it was like, oh, there are some wars, and it is always some wars. And we all looked on Russia, and that's it. But I think this region is absolutely vital for us in Europe also. And as you said, it's an economic growth region also. And unfortunately, Nevat Kamani isn't here because he described his journey from Germany, Poland, and then Ukraine and Chechnya, and through Georgia and onto Tehran, and not Tehran, but to Iran. And this would have been, he could have probably given you more insights about it. But I think we should have a better eye on it. But unfortunately, We at Deutsche Welle, we don't have the regional languages in our offer. We just have Russian, but I think we should be more active over there. Now it's you. Take the microphone, please.
I'm Sevil Erkuş from Turkey, from Hürriyet Daily News. And I was here 3 years ago for Global Media, and I witnessed the launching ceremony of Deutsche Welle English broadcasting event. And what I observe is the increasingly foreign language broadcasting activities, the enlargement of Deutsche Welle in foreign language, not only broadcast but reporting on different mediums. I'd like to ask, how do you identify the mission of broadcasting in foreign language? You mentioned that the Deutsche Welle is independent and only has a state fund for the broadcasting activities. But I have the question, if this enlargement has anything to do with the German states increasingly assertive politics in regional issues?
Well, to put it right, we enlarged in totally the amount of things we can do in the past years because we got a budget raise, and so. But we didn't, for up to now, raise the amount of languages. So we still have the same languages, 30 languages, which we had before. At Deutsche Welle, unless other countries, it's our own decision. When we say we want to implement a Turkish television broadcasting system, then it's our decision. We just tell it to the government, and the government just gives, and the parliament, both of them have to they read our 4 years plan, and then they give their comments to this. And they basically, even if they would say we don't agree with this plan, we could say, well, fine for you, but we do it anyway. So it's our decision which language we will take, or where we would like to grow. We do this together in a strategic process in the whole company. We have a strategic department which is giving us advices, and we're discussing it, and we do market researches. But obviously also we see political situations and challenges. And for instance, in Turkey, we see that freedom of press is heavily under pressure. Lots of journalists are imprisoned, and it's a very difficult situation. So we think this is reason enough, seeing also our mission, so supporting freedom of press and freedom of expression, that we should invest more. What will come at the end, it's always a question of budget and who is taking part in it or not. But I think I'm personally very convinced that given also the strong relations both of our countries have, that it would be good to get more information across. So about Germany and how Germany thinks, how Germany is, but also about Europe. And this is also part of our mission, to explain Europe and the process of getting closer together in Europe. So basically, I think it's a good idea. But to put it on your question again, it's our decision. And we get then, it's just in the middle of the process. I think the government has approved, or not approved, but they have given positive reactions to our plans. So now we're waiting to the Deutsche Bundestag, the parliament. They're just writing down what they think, and then there will be a resolution whether they see parts of our plans as positive or some are negative or whatever. But I think for the moment we have a lot of support among mostly every party in Germany about what we're doing. Okay. Okay. Great, a lot of questions. So now it's, I think, your turn, and then the lady on the corner. Okay. Basically, it was his turn.
Thank you. African leaders have been saying that the continent is underreported when it comes to international media, BBC, Deutsche Welle, France 24, and underreported, or probably there is no information, true information about Africa. Where does Africa stand in your broadcaster?
I think you just named the three media outlets which are doing a lot of in Africa and reporting about Africa. I think I'm not speaking for the BBC or France Média Monde, RFI, but they're doing a lot, as same as we do. I think in the local media in Germany or France or other countries in Europe, probably Africa is not enough represented. But especially the medias, the international medias, they're doing a lot of about Africa, because we know that these are people who are also waiting for information, and not only about Europe and Germany, but also about how we see things going on in Africa, and we do a lot of programming for Africa. So we have this image that we not only see the negative sides, but we really want to show also the positive developments, the startups, the efforts in economy. So there's a lot of positive things and culture also. Culture is a big thing. So there's a lot of great things in Africa happening right now, and there are so many talented people, and we would like to contribute a bit that this is better seen. And we hope also, but as I said yesterday, we are not a broadcaster for Germany. I mean, some outlets take our material, but basically we are a broadcaster for the world, and so I think it's also a good task to show Africans what happens in their continent, because it's sometimes in West Africa you don't know what's happening in East Africa, and so I think it's a good thing we're doing, and we'd like to do more. So now over there we go.
My name is Makaya Bungano. Last year I did a practice year in Deutsche Welle in French, and without knowing, when we were just in a redaction, and then I discovered that there was so much title about politics. When I did ask the question, they told me no, Deutsche Welle is focused more about politics. Today, Deutsche Welle had celebrating 65 years. And Deutsche Welle is focused in politics. I want to know, did you think to change or to continue in that situation of politics? That is the first question. And the second question, I want to know the relation do you have about DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm just saying so because I know that my country is in the middle of Africa, and my country facing one problem is today, if we can just find that solution, and then the whole Africa or the center Africa can be also funding the problem. What is your view about it?
First of all, politics will always be in our portfolio, but it's not only politics. It's culture, it's economics, it's sport, and I think we should keep the whole offers, and so we won't get rid of politics, but we're not only doing politics. Secondly, Congo is a very big country. It's 5 times bigger than Germany, and it's in the heart of Africa. So we just signed a contract together with the Top Congo radio outlet. It's a big private station in Kinshasa, I think, and so we're trying to get more and more also into the market of Congo. But and we have a French offer, we have a Kiswahili offer, so I think there's a lot of opportunities to do there for us. So I hope I answered your question. Next one, please. So, yes, I don't know who was first. Okay, she was first, that's right. She was definitely first, that's right. It's a bit stupid question, who was first. Nobody says, no, I wasn't first, no.
Thank you very much. I'm Sisai from Ethiopia, and Deutsche Welle Amharic desk is very popular in Ethiopia, but I doubt that it is only broadcasted for a very short. The duration is very short, and people would like to hear more. I want to ask if you have plans to expand the service. As you know, Addis Ababa is the seat of the African Union and many UN agencies there. So different media houses are eyeing in Addis Ababa. Recently, Al Jazeera opened its office in Addis Ababa. Do you have plans in expanding your service in Ethiopia and different regions of Ethiopia, not only in Addis Ababa? Another thing is I want to ask how there are different issues to be addressed throughout the country, especially these days. How are you gathering information? Because I know that you have only 2 correspondents in Addis Ababa, and of course you have also other reporters here too. How do you get information? Just the social media and only with those 2 reporters, correspondents?
But they're very great.
I truly agree with that.
No,
I truly agree with that.
Please, maybe we could do one thing, so because time is also limited, that everybody just ask one question, because otherwise we won't get through. So first question was, I don't have concrete plans in enlarging the service. I wish I could enlarge the service, but it's always a budget question. And so I'm not quite sure how big our budget will be in the next years to come. The outlooks are very positive, but I can't promise that because with 30 languages, my position is always, we're always disappointing somebody in this company, because we have to say, well, obviously you have a great idea, but we don't have the budget for it. But my wish is obviously to do this, but I can't promise anything. So, and the other question is, yes, we have great correspondence, and yes, for 2 people for Ethiopia is not enough. But see, also there is a budget question. I mean, we have, even when we can say we have 200 correspondents all over Africa, it's about 4 countries or something. You see, this is you're never enough, and it's also not. We're not competing with the media within. We can't compete with local media, so they have much more people. And but in co-production, in collaboration, I think we can get a lot of good informations. So whoever wants.
My name is Brian Banda. I'm representing Times Television in Blantyre, Malawi. Our television is pretty new, but we are the most watched television right now. We've been running since 3 years ago. My question is, we do beam DW, and even after our local transmission, DW runs until the following morning. I was just wondering, what plans do you have in terms of human development in as far as the staff is concerned? Because we have heard and seen others coming to Germany doing internships and special training for stations that have just started this journey with DW.
Yeah. So first of all, we have a DW Academy, which is a great thing, and they do exactly that. But they don't only do that; they do also strategic consulting for media markets and a lot of other trainings, and they build up resilience programs against propaganda and fake news, and they do media literacy. So they do a lot of things, but. I'm convinced personally that we should do more in trainings again, like we did in the years before. But also, this is a budget question. The DW Academy is run by project money mostly, so that means we always have to find a sponsor for everything. And I hope that in the future, when we get a bit more budget, we can also do some more trainings. I mean, there are a lot of regions where trainings probably are not necessary or are overtrained, but others, and I'm not an expert in your home country, but probably this would be a great thing to do. So I hope we can do more in the future, because I strongly believe that it's a good thing, because when I travel, whether it's Africa or South America or Asia, it doesn't care. A lot of people come to me and always say, it was great having those trainings 25 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 5 years ago. And they say, it changed my life. Something happened. It was really, really eye-opening. And I won't say that every training which we do is eye-opening or life-changer, but we can empower people and can help them. And I think especially in this digital area, which we sometimes also need training. I mean, it's nothing special. It's good when we can provide more trainings for programming and digital work. So, yes. You have been there for a long time with your hands up, please.
Thank you. My name is Gabriel. I'm Deutsche Welle correspondent also. I am really touched by what Deutsche Welle organizes every year, not only by the type of people that you invite, but also by the themes, because the themes talks a lot, and that shows also how Deutsche Welle see things and also gives insight about the issues. And I was wondering if Deutsche Welle has also a plan for such mini gatherings at regional level, because these things are very important, because not only journalists are together coming, but you know, the civil society groups, politicians, so all those people it's hard to invite, but at African level or at Asian level, do you have plans also to bring together those stakeholders? Thank you.
Again, no concrete plans, but also ideas. And so also there we have to always find a partner who is financing it, because these conferences are quite expensive, and even if you do a small one, it's not out of the pocket money you do it. So one always have to find somebody. I think now the lady here, so we change a bit the region. Okay.
Yes, hi, my name is Mildred Nicolas, a freelance producer and researcher for ARD German TV. And my question is, what are the things that Deutsche Welle is doing in order to identify and analyze your target market?
Which market?
Yeah.
The target market?
Yes.
Ah, okay, yeah. Well, we have a department which are just doing this the whole day, and they analyzing. We have a strategic process which goes through every region and every offer which we have language-wise, and doing this at least every 2 years now, where we see where we're standing, what is necessary, where maybe radio is not longer as important, or shortwave radio as important as it used to be, and go more on social media. And some regions, even social media doesn't work, and you have to find other ways. So we're trying to analyze it very often, which is always not possible because we have so many regions and languages. But it's very important, especially in this digital age, that we look, because otherwise you can have ideas and they're 4 years old, and the market has changed totally. So I mean, it is a challenging work for these people, and obviously we do some market research. We have a department which only does market researches in the whole world. Sometimes they do it themselves, sometimes with partners, sometimes we get the figures of the partners where we broadcast. But we also have to do it not only for a strategic process, but also for telling the people who are giving us the money for all of this, the German Parliament, where we are successful and where we might do even better. So now we have the gentleman in the back with near the door, yes, and then please the lady just sitting in front of me who has a pen in her hand.
Thank you, Mr. Limbourg. First of all, thank Deutsche Welle for organizing such a wonderful event. I'm Chang Jin, Director of Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development, AIBD. You have just answered a question on digital, on media literacy, and yesterday in the keynote speech by Ms. Maria Gabriel, Commissioner for Digital Economy EU, she also mentioned media literacy. And now, within AIBD's membership, the Republic of Korea, South Korea, they have established 7 provincial media centers for communities, for citizens to go there to be engaged in media production, including disabled facility for the disabled people to be also engaged in media production. My question is, in Deutsche Welle or in Germany, do you have such counterpart media centers? And I would also like to extend an invitation for you or your colleague to go to Korea to take part in a program organized by my organization in November. Thank you.
Oh, great! Thank you for the invitation. I might just say yes because I'm planning also to go to Korea. Maybe not in November, but I think in October. So I might just come around and have a look because it sounds really interesting what you have there. And I can't tell you for the moment whether there is something that similar exists in Germany. So, but I think we have people also here from Deutsche Welle Academy who can help you on this and can tell you exactly what we are doing precisely, and also what might be available here in Germany. You're welcome. Now, it's your turn, please.
I'm Evelyn Faye. I am from African Union of Broadcasting. And my question is, in the past years, the public broadcasters receive a lot of programs from Deutsche Welle in the field of the cooperation. But my remarks is it's now a few years, quite long. Deutsche Welle is very absent on public broadcasters' screens. My question is why, and what is your strategy to correct maybe the gap? Thank you.
Okay, you mean a special country, or you mean Africa in total? From Francophone countries, okay. Well, we due to our budget situation in the recent years, we couldn't have invested much into our French offer, but we hope to change this. So there is no typical strategy against public broadcasters, but we don't have enough programs in French. So we focused on English to repair this offer. We did it. It's now, I think, working quite well. And now we want to also bring up the other languages. We know that the French language is very important, so we try also by partners or from within ourselves to get more programs in French. And then obviously, yes, we would like to give them voluntary to public broadcasters because we are public broadcaster ourselves. If it works fine with a partner, I mean, they always have to fulfill certain criteria and also do a contract, so whatever. But I see also a big chance in private television or private radio or private platforms in Africa, because I think they're very dynamic and they can bring also a lot of change and do a lot of benefits. And so we are not only focused on public broadcasters, but also we don't exclude any public broadcasters. So I think we have 5 minutes more or 1 minute more. Okay, so we have 2 questions, okay? You're the one and you're the one. Okay.
Okay, my name is Mariam Cisse. I'm from Ghana, working with a state broadcaster and a correspondent for DW in Ghana. DW has, over the years, continued to make a statement by her programming and her position that she's not in competition with any media house. And that, I think, is obvious from the content that she brings out. In Ghana, I would say DW has taken another dimension when it comes to partnership with other local media stations, both private and state media houses. I don't know if it would be a suggestion. I think that it wouldn't just be enough, given this station's content and also airing the very beautiful and nice programs that GW has.
Thank you.
I think it is also a way of branding and marketing GW as a brand in Africa and precisely Ghana. So apart from feeding in the programs, DW can bring up, let's say, adverts, talking about the programs on DW, either online, radio, TV, for these local stations to be playing in between their programs during the day, so that it whets the appetite of whoever does not know much about DW or does not listen to DW programs, would want to listen from that media house or that local station, or would want to go online and then check on their programs. So I think it is also another way of, expanding the GW family.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. It's, I think, a very good hint. We try to do marketing also with our partners, so part of the programming delivered deals are often also marketing measures. But yes, we could probably do more. I think I will be in November in Ghana, and then I will see how the market is functioning, and hopefully I get back smarter, and then we know what's going to be necessary to do. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have the last question.
My name is Durgam Zaki from the Netherlands. I'm a freelance journalist.
From where? Excuse me.
From the Netherlands.
From the Netherlands. Okay, hi.
Your neighbors.
Goeiedag.
Goeiedag. My question is, how you, as a Director General of the DW TV, ensure the subjectivity of the TV? You have talked about the parliament, that they have a board, they watch on your behavior, but how you make sure that all the programs, they are not going to satisfy the parliament, for example, and because you are depending on their funds.
Yeah, but you mean the objectivity of our programs?
Subjectivity, that you stay in the middle, not going this way or this way, to support an party or something like that.
Yes, sometimes we try. I mean, the truth is always also in the eye of the one who looks at it. So, I mean, it's to have a 100% objectivity is not possible. But we try to go via facts to get nearer to the truth. So we don't always have to stay in the middle. I think this is not the right approach. When we see something is wrong and we have a fact-based analysis about this, then we say that it's wrong. So we don't have to. And this is one I think big thing we had concerning the whole populism discussion. Suddenly you have people who are saying the truth, and on the other hand you have total liars. And suddenly, because media thinks they should be objective, then you have the truth on one side, and everybody knows it's the truth, and the liar on the other side. And suddenly they have the same airtime, and they have the same time to spread their lies. So if media also has to control, and when they know that there is a lie, then they have to say it, and then probably don't give the lie as much attention as the truth. It's a great final word. So thanks very much for your time. So, okay. So see you later on the reception.